Ooh, hello there. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, what? Did you see that? It went right through him. Oh, okay. Seems like I'm hitting a shield now for some reason. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Hello and welcome back to the Ronin, and, well, we almost have level 50 leadership, which I'm very much appreciating because that means that we're going to be getting some really nice perks very, very soon. I also have 150 in Steward. I actually can't believe that it has leveled up so incredibly fast, but it has, and we are almost halfway to the next level as well, which is going to be very lucrative for us indeed, because I'll be able to maybe get another focus point in leadership, maybe put something in tactics, maybe put something in smithing. I don't really know just yet. What I do know is that if I do level up smithing any further, I do have the possibility of gaining additional attribute points by taking these, these specific perks, like so vigor or control or something along those lines. That looks very, very appealing to me indeed. Anyway, we have two perk choices here. Raise the Meek, which is 30 experience per day to tier 1 to 3 troops. And we have combat tips, which is plus 15 experience per day to the entire party. It also increases the recruit level of units of the same culture with you from NPCs. Now, personally, I feel like combat tips is far and away the better option, mainly because of the secondary benefit that it gives you. Being able to increase the tier of unit that you're able to recruit from a very basic level to something that's slightly more useful, I think is invaluable, especially when dealing with a slightly smaller faction, because, don't know whether you've noticed, but the Tetsujin is not the largest territory in Calradia at the moment, and it can only help, to recruit more units if we need them, that is, because at the moment we are completely full to bursting, pretty much. Anyway, influence gain from donating troops is increased by 25%. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you'd take this, to be honest. I think this is much better. Do not pay wages to wounded soldiers, even though in my opinion that seems kind of harsh, because I feel like you should pay them no matter whether they're wounded or not, from a moral standpoint, but generally this is better from a gameplay perspective, so I will be taking it as a result of that. And we're also almost level 50 leadership, which is going to be very nice. Now, the reason why I started the episode here is because we have two companions, and we have the option between them. Now, I don't really think that Bridges is going to be a good selection here, mainly because she's just a surgeon, pretty much. She's just kind of like a basic sort of character with good medicine skill. That's pretty much it. However, Uluen is, in my opinion, going to be much more useful because she has a decent skill in bows, and she could be quite deadly from range. So I'm thinking we're probably going to be taking her. And I actually wanted to skip all that, but okay. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, okay. Definitely sorry for your loss. Oh, 2,400. Actually, very expensive. All right. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of gear she has on at the moment, because I think it's pretty terrible. Yes, indeed, it is very, very terrible indeed. All right, so what we're going to do as well is I'm going to try and purchase some better horse armor for myself, because my horse always gets killed, and I think that's just generally because my horse armor has always been awful. So we'll see what we can do about that. Anyway, I actually sold all my, sold all my bows, so that's not very good, is it? No, that is not very good at all. Okay, so I'm going to actually have to give her a decent sword, so let's give her this. And I don't have any shields for her either, unfortunately, so I won't be able to give her anything there. But I do have some very nice armor for her too, so I'm pretty happy to give her any number of things here. So we're just going to basically give her what we can here. Basically, I don't really care too much about the theme for her, because she just needs protection as fast as she could possibly get it, because I don't really want to be looking around for some armor at the moment. I'd like to just get her outfitted as soon as possible and then head into battle if we potentially need to, because the Southern Empire is calling, and I would very much like to, get stuck in there quite a bit. All right, so she's also an athletics person, so her using a horse is pointless in my opinion, so we're just going to leave her out there. And we're also going to go into the trade screen now and see if I can maybe buy some decent bows and maybe a maybe a decent shield as well. I'm actually not entirely sure what kind of shield to get her. Maybe something like this. A wide heater shield sounds pretty good. And we can also get her a longbow. This is terrible. This is actually awful. Yeah. Yes, that is pretty awful. Okay, we'll get her a longbow because that's basically the only thing I can get her. And wide arrows? That is kind of weird. Look at that. They have cutting damage rather than piercing damage. I'm not entirely sure why you'd buy these instead of buying piercing arrows, because piercing damage is always generally better in my opinion, but well, doesn't really matter to me, I suppose. So we're just going to be doing this, and we'll just equip the shield as well. And there you go. All right, so I just spent a cool 14,000. Actually, you know what? Let's offset that a little bit by selling some other things. There we go. So we're only spending 4,000 now, which I think is a lot better. So the main reason why we wanted to do this, of course, is so that we can create another party. And that's obviously the only reason why we did that. So we are going to create another party. I didn't want to have Andros leave because he's actually a pretty decent surgeon, and I'd like to kind of keep him like that. So we're just going to make her this, and we're going to give her all the rogue trainers because I can't level them up, unfortunately, anyway, and it makes no sense for me to keep them around as a result of that. So we're just going to kind of hand them off to her, and maybe she can level them up. I'm actually not entirely sure whether NPCs can, you know, bypass that particular requirement or something like that. If they can, then that's absolutely fantastic. If they can't, it doesn't really matter because they're pretty strong units nevertheless. You can see here they've got amazing two-handed weapon proficiency, and they are on horses as well, so they are indeed solid units. Alright, anything else? Anything else that I really want to do here? I am thinking probably not. I have way too many of these guys, by the way. I mean, look at their stats, right? Their stats are absolutely fantastic, but they don't have shields. Yeah, they don't have shields, so I'm actually kind of a bit worried about this. But anyway, we're just going to give her that, and then we're going to invite her to the army. Where am I? There I am. And she is... There we go. She's not alone anymore, that's for sure. Oh, yes. All right. So now, can you join me? Yep, there we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now every single time we go to any one of these little village outcroppings, these two are going to be picking up units. I'm also going to try and pick up a couple of units as well. And we are going to be hopefully heading into Southern Empire territory. Yes, indeed, we are going to do that. This guy needs seed grain. Okay, well, I have a huge amount of that, I think. Don't I? Let me actually have a look. Yep, there we go. And there we go. That was easy. Super, super easy. And he's going to actually want us to deliver a herd. 75 sheep? That's super weird. Right, okay. Well, it's Cyronea, which just so happens to... It's very far, isn't it? Oh yes, it is indeed very, very far away. Okay, well that's not going to be too good for me, but we're going to go over there nevertheless and see what's happening, and we'll hope that we won't come across an extremely large army, but I don't really mind too much even if we do. Alright, so we did get to level 50 in leadership as well. Additional 8 morale at the beginning of the battle when you're defending, and double the rate of recruiting for tier 4, 5, 6. And additional 4 morale at the beginning of the battle when you are attacking. I'm going to go for attacking because that generally will be happening much more often. And I think you've got to kind of play the odds here, because most of the time I'm not going to be defending unless there's an extremely large army and I allow them to get into range. But personally, I don't think that's going to happen that often. So I'd like to go into the siege actually. Can I join you? Yeah, here we go. I have to actually click on the fief itself. Join the continuing siege. There we go. All right. So they actually, they were actually bombarding it, amusingly enough, but they don't seem to want to continue with that now, and we are going to help his army. We could technically just auto-resolve this, but we're going to go in manually and see what we can do. All right. So this time, usually because I don't particularly enjoy going up the siege towers, I'm actually going to do that this time, because usually I'll just go through the front door because I feel like it provides much more survivability, because you're not really going to be targeted that often unless there's some kind of murder hole in your path or something, because that happened to me in a previous episode where I was waiting at the front gate and I was bashing it down, trying to get it open, and then all of a sudden, boom, I get murdered by a headshot. And obviously, yeah, unless you have that happen, then it's not... I feel like it's much safer. Anyway, this is... Come on now, guys. Yes. Oh yeah, I absolutely love this weapon. We created this, didn't we? Didn't we create this weapon? It's a katana, no? Looks like it. Or something. But it seems to be doing quite nicely. Although I'm not particularly... I'm not particularly good with it, let's just say that. This guy's running? Are you get back here, sir? Get back... Oh, hello there. You seem to have run into a friend. I wish I had some friends to help me out here. Well, never mind. Oh, a nice stab. Oh, that was great. Oh, I'm actually very surprised that I was able to do that. Oh, it seems like I'm going to get murdered by some guys with wooden hammers. Oh, thank you. Yes. Did you see that? I was actually being rather strategic about my movements there, because I basically saw that he was attacking from his forehand side. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I move him against the wall, he's not going to be able to really use that attack any further. And that's exactly what happened. So I was able to get an opening, and boom. That was a nice kill. Alright, so I do have crossbow, by the way. I do have a crossbow that is extremely effective, so I'm thinking I'll probably try and use... Ooh, hello there. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, what? Did you see that? It went right through him. Oh, okay. Seems like I'm hitting a shield now for some reason. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That has gotta hurt. Alright, gotta be a bit careful here. Don't really want to get... oh dear. Yeah, we don't really want to get trapped. That's the problem. Oh, seems like my people are coming in. That's nice. It's nice to see you guys. Very good. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I actually really like using the crossbow. I think the crossbow is super satisfying to use because it really gives that satisfying, you know, ka-thunk sound whenever you hit someone with it. And I think that would probably happen with most other ranged weapons as well. I think thrown weapons are probably the most satisfying to use, but I think crossbows are probably second to them, and then bows are the least satisfying, but they are very satisfying nevertheless, because they still have the fast fire rate and great accuracy, and the usability of them is just so much better than pretty much anything else. But it seems like this is indeed a victory for us without any issues whatsoever. Seems like Uluan's actually getting a bunch of kills too. She seems to be leveling up her bow skill quite nicely, and there you go. That is indeed it. I'm hopeful that we might be able to rescue some prisoners or something like that, and maybe Uluan will get a bunch of people to add to her army or something like that. And look at that, 9,000 charm, just from coming in and helping him out a little bit. I very much appreciate that. Alright, so anything else here that we want to take? Nope, doesn't seem like there's anything good, so we'll just move on. Alright. So I took a little bit of damage there, but nothing really too bad. And we still have to deliver the herd over to Cyrenea. Now this is actually a bit weird because I don't know how I'm going to do that. And I'm actually kind of a bit... Well, shall we say... Oh. They want to give this to me. I don't know why they want to do this. Sure. Sure. Okay. I personally don't want it. Yeah. Yeah, I personally don't want it. Yeah, so I have improved garrisons, as I told you at the beginning of this series. I think that it is a fantastic mod that gives you so many different features, and if you use it in a, shall we say, a rather restrained manner, then it provides a lot of utility without imbalancing the game in a, you know, unfair fashion. So if I just show you some of these things, because maybe you don't know about improved garrisons, but I'm just going to quickly go over it. Basically, what you can do is you can recruit units from any culture in the game. You can train them up to any tier that you want. Personally, I'd recommend going for tier 3, tier 4, dependent on when you are, you know, getting your fief in the game. So whether that's mid game or late game, I would recommend going for tier 4, maybe even tier 5 in the late game, because it's going to take trainers a lot of time to level up units. And I think in the late game it makes more realistic sense that they would have you know, spent a lot of time training your units, and that's all I'm really talking about there. But anyway, then you obviously have garrison management. This is all about transferring troops to another garrison, you copying your settings and so on and so forth. And then you have the garrison guards. Now this is really cool in my opinion. You can basically establish a patrol or an additional party for you to be accompanied by. So they're basically like bodyguards, which is really amazing. And you can also set the guards' behaviors, as you can see right here, so you can basically tell them everything that you want them to do. In other words, your extra party can be told that they can recruit additional prisoners, they can clear hideouts nearby, they can buy horses, they can replenish, and so on and so on and so on. There are so many different options, and Improved Garrisons has just come so far since the first version, because I believe I installed it. I think I installed 1.6, or maybe it was something along those lines. And I was initially thinking to myself, is this good? You know, is this a good mod? And then I started using it. I was just blown away by the amount of options it has. And they've added to it consistently. So the modding team, or the modding person behind this, is doing a great job. Anyway, we are going to be, yeah, I'd like to recruit from the region, but I don't really want to do that because it is going to recruit Empire units. And I don't want them to recruit Empire units. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to establish a recruiter. So we're going to ask that the recruiter go and get 50 units or so. And we're going to tell them to go over to the Tetsujin and gain 50 units. Now what I can do is I can take, yeah, as you can see here, there's an automatic garrison that just gets placed in here, and there's just a random assortment of units and so on, just to kind of buffer the defenses of the castle a little bit, which I think is very cool. And what you can do is you can then place a bunch of units in the garrison recruiter's party so that it doesn't potentially get murdered by all kinds of random bandit parties and so on. So we're just going to place a couple of units in there, just like 15 archers I think would probably be okay, and maybe yeah, I was hopeful that they would be more infantry, but I think 15 archers should be enough. I don't really want to put too many because it's going to kind of make things a bit harsh. Anyway, you can set the maximum amount of troops to recruit as well, so I'm going to set that to about 150. You can set this to, I think, pretty much whatever the garrison can hold, and I'm not entirely sure what that is at the moment. So if we actually just go out here and actually manage the castle real quick, you can see here that we have 0 levels in the barracks, so we have no bonus garrison capacity. So I assume the garrison's capable of holding like not too many. I think it's actually quite a lot, 312. I had no idea. All right. Well, good to know. I suppose that's good to know. Okay, so we're just going to place 10,000 in here. That adds more construction, so it makes things much easier and obviously much quicker for us to build these things. And we're also going to be building some workshops as well. Ugh, there's just so much stuff to do here. It's absolutely insane. All right, I'm going to just leave it like this because apparently in this version of the game there are rebellions, I think. I think someone commented that, but I'm not entirely sure how they work at the moment. I think it's basically to do with the satisfaction of your denizens in that particular fief, because if they're not satisfied, then the militia is going to rise up and take over the castle, and then the minor faction will own that, and you won't anymore, basically. That's how it works, as far as I'm aware. So that's kind of harsh in my opinion. It's pretty harsh, but hopefully it's going to work out quite nicely for us, and our recruiter is not going to have too many difficulties. I don't really want to recruit from the region, even though that is the most secure way of protecting the castle. So that's a bit problematic. Okay, so we're going to train units in the garrison as well, and we're going to set the maximum tier to 3, I think, because we're kind of like in the sort of mid-game right now. And, oh, gather necessary troops with a recruiter? Yes. Yes, training template. Ooh, I didn't know you could do this. This is new, I think. Okay, template manager. Oh. Add new training. Your setup currently doesn't have training units. Right. Manage the... here we go. Okay, I actually didn't see that. Okay, so this is actually new to me, so I am not entirely sure What is going on here? Okay, so let's train infantry. Let's train Tetsujin. And... oh, wow. Okay, so you can actually select troops here. Okay, so I'd like... what would I like? I have no idea, actually. Probably the shield warriors. I think the shield warriors would be quite nice, but I don't really think I can make those too easily. Let me actually... can I want to just see something real fast. I want to go to the recruits. Okay, so let me just see here. Okay, trained footmen. I'd like them to be trained footmen if possible, please. So let's just put, well, 900? I think that's a bit much, isn't it? I think that is indeed a bit much. So let's do 200 or something like that. 199. Okay, sure. Let's do that. Gather necessary troops. Boom. There you go. Okay, so that should... uh-huh. Okay, wait. What are they called again? Trained footmen or something? Trained footmen? Footmen? Yeah. Trained footmen. Okay. And there we go. Apply template. There we go. Okay, so that's been applied. And now what we can do... gather necessary troops. It is now gathering the necessary troops for the current template automatically. Make sure to have at least one unit for the recruiter to spawn in the garrison of the castle. Okay. So that... now what that should do is that should theoretically send out a recruiter every single time the current recruiter returns. And so as a result, it should... ah, there we go. It returned with 14 troops. Okay. I didn't want them to do that, actually. Okay, maybe it's not going to work, but we'll see. I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what happens here. I'm actually now thinking, by the way, that I won't be able to do the herd quest. So... that's a little bit problematic, isn't it? Yeah, that is a little bit problematic. I guess I'm going to go and help Hanzo because he's actually attempting to take Onira at this point, and that is a pretty significant fief for him to try and take, and I'd like to try and assist him as much as I possibly can. So we're just going to head over there as soon as we can and try and do that. Ah, hello there. I'd like to do battle with you. Yes, let's do it. Very nice. Okay, here we go. Let's go in. We're going to be fighting her, and as far as I remember, she has really good armor, because I think we married her in a previous series, and I did the unscrupulous thing of stealing her armor and then putting it on. I did give her my old armor, of course, but still, I kind of feel bad about that, you know, generally. I feel like if someone joins you and is like, ah, yes, I'm happy to be in your party. You know, good day to you, and so on. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, just give me your armor. You know? And I wasn't even the bandit. I wasn't even playing the bandit character at that point. I was playing like a Southern Empire vassal. But that was actually kind of hilarious. Dearie me. But that's the thing. The armor was absolutely insane, and it turned us into some kind of walking tank. And I believe that was in the completely unmodded series, which was on a relatively, I wouldn't say a very early version of Bannerlord, but quite a few versions back, so yeah. But anyway, if you want to check that out, obviously there's a playlist in the description. There's a playlist in the description for pretty much every series that I've done so far, so if you want more Bannerlords, then you know where to go, and you know what to do. Anyway, there's not that many people that are really going to be that threatening to us in this army, I don't think. So I'm just going to continue moving. Whoa, these guys move super fast. What? You see that? They have insane movement speed. Look at these guys. That's crazy. Okay, let's put them into shield wall formation. Let's get my archers over here. Put them into... they always do that to me now. Yeah, I always misclick all the time. Okay, so let's tell my cavalry to charge in all the way from the back, because for some reason I did that and I didn't tell them to move faster, but alright. Come on now. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice indeed. And I believe this is going to be a... yes, this is going to be a pretty easy victory. I mean, you would expect it, considering... look at all of these guys. They've all got shiny armor and they're running around with blood-stained katanas, and oh, it's just absolutely fantastic. Alright, here we go. Nice. I hit him in the chest somehow from there. I mean, technically I hit him in the back, but no one say anything, because that's the most honorable thing ever. Okay. Anyway, there you go. We were able to achieve victory. Did we lose anyone? Yeah, we lost some vanguards and some swordmasters, but I should have technically told my people to charge in much, much earlier. That was my bad, but it's all right, because we do get some very nice experience for that, and we also eliminate one of the threats to Hanzo and basically make it much easier for him to begin his siege. And that's all that we really desire. Oh, and she died! She actually died in the battle. I can't believe it. That usually never happens. Usually, every single time I go into a battle with an enemy vassal, they always survive, and my companions are the ones that always get killed. And now I've jinxed them. Yeah. Now I've jinxed them. Well, that's not going to go very well, is it? No, that is not going to go well at all. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to convert a bunch of these units, and there's a reason for that, because I can, of course, now then speak to one of our people, and I can pretty much just give them to her, which is going to be quite good. Let's do that. And we could also give her some recruits to level up if she wants to. Yeah, why not? Seems pretty decent. Okay. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm basically just going to run interference between Hanzo and any vassals that decide that they want to appear. And I would like to actually join the siege. Oh, are we doing it? Are we actually going in? We are already. Wow. Okay. I think that might be jumping the gun a little bit, Hanzo, but okay. If he wants to do that, then who am I to stop him? He is the leader of the Tetsujin after all, and he could absolutely destroy me in a duel, so there's also that. Anyway, I'm actually kind of surprised that the walls of Onira are so incredibly low, because this is indeed a town. Bear that in mind, this is a town. This is not just some random castle out in the middle of nowhere. This is an actual town, which has a pretty significant amount, at least in my opinion, maybe, but in my opinion it does have a pretty good amount of strategic value, because Onira actually leads to a bunch of other places, and it is nearby to a bottleneck in the environment, the natural environment. You know, it's basically just past a bottleneck of two mountains or two hills or whatever you want to call them. And it is pretty good, because most people are going to pass by here. And if you want to attack them really, really fast, and you want to skirmish, and you want to eliminate as many vassals as possible, just wait in Onira, and you're bound to get a bunch of enemies going by. Oh, nice headshot. Oh, yes. Give me that. Oh, yeah. This is going to get me a whole bunch of skill points. I like it. Oh, that guy's dead. Nice. Oh, look at that. We actually leveled up. Fantastic. Okay, yeah. This is exactly what we need to do, by the way. We just need to do much more damage with our crossbow, because I personally feel like we haven't done enough of that. And gaining some of that is definitely going to be extremely lucrative, because the crossbow perks are mostly all implemented now. I remember when I attempted to make a crossbow character a while ago, and it just didn't really work out because the perks were not working, unfortunately. I mean, I did have a couple of mods that may have fixed them, but you don't truly know whether that is indeed the case. So it's nice that they are 100% fixed. At least I think they're 93% implemented, at least in the current version that I'm playing. It might be that they are 100% now in 1.5.6, but I am obviously unaware of that at the moment because I'm not playing on that version. Okay, oh, murder. All the murder in the world is befalling them, and they do not know what to do. And I know what to do. I'm going to stab him in the face. Yes, there we go. Oh, I have the high ground. I have the high ground, Anakin. Yes, apparently. That was actually quite a strategic benefit. I mean, really. I mean, obviously, there's a reason why a lot of strategic maneuvers are usually based on having the high ground, especially in these troubling times. You know, this era is, well, it's definitely going to be useful. Definitely going to be useful, especially with a two-handed sword like this. You know, I feel like if you have like a shorter weapon or something, it's probably not going to be as useful, but definitely with a long sword like so, it definitely helps a great deal. Anyway, that is indeed a victory for us. I think, personally, Hanzo knows exactly what to do and where to attack. I'm actually really impressed with his progression, because he's literally going from... I feel like he's being quite logical about it and quite smart, which is really strange because the AI, no offense to the Bannerlord AI, but usually the AI is not this decisive. Usually they'll do a little bit of humming and hawing, and they'll be like, should I go in here? Should I not go in here? You know, they're kind of like me a little bit when when I'm deciding whether I should siege. They're usually like that, but this guy is just doing it, you know? He's just going for it and impressing me to no end. And hopefully he's impressing you as well, because I feel like he's like head and shoulders above the other vassals in terms of his intelligence. And I'm not entirely sure why that is, personally. Because you can see here, look at this. This is a perfectly reasonable attacking line. Look at this. He's not, you know, okay, so this is an example here. Very quick example. I was basically harking back to when I was a vassal of the Southern Empire, but basically I was trying to help Regea to fight off the Crusade or whoever it was. Can't remember who it was at this point. And she was leading an army, and I thought to myself, okay, she's going to go and attack, I don't know, Korinia Castle or something, or I think Cyrenea had gotten taken by the Crusade at that point as well. I'm actually not sure. Can't remember. But the main point that I'm trying to make is she decided to run past Onira, which had been taken by the Crusade as well, I believe, and she went to Odrisa Castle. And then she got herself taken prisoner, and her whole army was defeated. Why? Why would you do that? That's the point I'm trying to make here. I don't know why you would be so illogical in your attack pattern. And that happens a lot. That happens with Unkid, that happens with Mr. Greedy Pants, you know, if you know who Mr. Greedy Pants is, then props to you, but generally they do tend to do those kinds of things. Anyway, we have leveled up our athletics skill, slightly increases your persuasion chance, or increases crafting stamina recovery rate by 50%. Increases your prisoner size limit by 5, and decrease prisoner escape chance by 10. Okay. Why is this in the athletics tree? I feel like that prisoner thing should either be in roguery, or it should be in leadership, or something like that. But, well, who am I to say, I suppose. But 10% chance, or slightly increase your persuasion chance. I think I would probably like the persuasion chance more than the prisoner escape chance, because generally I'm letting most people go anyway, and if I don't let them go, they're going to be put into my prisoner tower. So I'm going to go for increasing our persuasion chance. And crossbow, oh yeah, give me this. Alright, increases headshot damage by 50%, or reduce accuracy penalty by moving by 30%. Personally, I love the name. Gotta say, whoever named this on the developer team, oh yes, big thumbs up from me. I love this. Donkey Swiftness, I mean really, come on now. How can you say no to Donkey Swiftness? I'm gonna take Donkey Swiftness just literally because most times I get a headshot with a crossbow. It's probably going to be a kill anyway, unless it's on one of the highest tier units that you'll possibly find in the game. And even then, I think I've done enough damage at that point. So I think reducing the accuracy penalty by moving by 30%, and especially considering it's called Donkey Swiftness, I mean, I can't get enough of Donkey Swiftness, really. How many times am I going to say that? Yeah. Okay, so 30% chance to negate relationship penalty from kingdom decisions, or 10 more influence by winning tournaments. Okay, 30% chance to negate relationship penalty is much better, in my opinion, because I'm not going to really be doing too many tournaments. And I'm also going to level up my leadership, I think. Am I? I think so. Steward skill is pretty good right now. I don't really think I need anything else here. I mean, construction speed being increased by 10% is pretty awesome, but that is a governor-only perk benefit, so that's it's not particularly good. That's not particularly good. Okay, so I'm probably going to just level up leadership because we are currently in an army and we should probably make the most of it while we have the ability to do so. And, oh, I should probably level up riding skill too, but that's the thing, I'm not even on a horse right now, so it basically makes no sense. Okay, well, where do I want to spend my point? Probably in control, right? Because I want to level up my crossbow skill much faster because I'd like to be able to use it on a horse. And I believe that... Where is that? There. Can reload any crossbow on horseback. That would be really cool to use that. But there you go. I think that's pretty decent. And we're just going to wait here for some time. Even though I didn't actually take that much damage, if any, in that particular siege. I'm actually surprised about that. Pretty cool. Alright, let's take a look at the garrison in Onira right now because I'm a little bit worried about it. Oh, it's got 123. Okay, that's perfectly fine. How is Odrisa Castle doing, by the way? Because it is mine, actually. I've got to remember that I do have something to defend now. If it does actually come under attack, I do need to defend it. And am I actually getting anything from it? Well, I failed that quest. I mean, obviously, I don't really want to go over there and attempt to sneak in with a party size or an army size of 219. It makes no sense. And technically, I could get this. Could I? No. Even if I spend 100 influence, that's not going to happen. Ah, sad. I would love to have that town under my control, but yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm just going to go for a decent amount of charm skills. You can see if I spend like 60 influence, I'm going to get 24,000 charm skill. Anytime you do any of these kinds of kingdom decisions, make sure you make the most of them because they are going to give you a huge chunk of experience. Really makes a big difference. Okay, so what's going on here with the garrison? Nothing. Right. Okay. Okay, set the recruiter behavior. Oh yeah. Okay, so is it still doing it? Is it actually okay, you know what? Let's reduce it to 35 that it has to recruit. I'm going to order it to... Okay, so there is none. Okay, fantastic. Okay, establish a new recruiter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now let's hopefully do that. You need at least one unit to establish the party. Okay, let's give them a couple of archers. And garrison recruitment. Where's the template thing again? Because I think that was the thing that kind of messed it up a little bit. Maybe? This one? No. Yes, this one. This is a training template. That actually, yeah, gather necessary troops for the recruiter. We're going to say no to that. And we're going to just recruit from the region because I think for the moment it needs some kind of defense. And I don't really care where it comes from at this point because I don't really want it to be completely defenseless. Look at it. It's only got 56. That's not enough. That is just surely not enough. It's going to get absolutely murdered by any size of army at this point. Oh, hello there. Seems like there's a bit of an issue going on here, but I'm going to help him out. Just going to do an auto-resolve real fast. There we go. A little bit of charm skill right there. Let this guy go as well. Massive amount of charm skill from that one. So that's nice. And a good amount of loot too. Yeah. I actually need to do something about my loot as well, by the way. I haven't really managed it in quite some time, but I have a huge amount of weapons, as you can see right there. So I do need to go into a smithy and smelt a couple of weapons down and sell the rest potentially because I think there's quite a lot of money just resting in my inventory right now, and it would probably make sense to do that. But I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. We've actually taken a decent chunk out of the Southern Empire, and as you can no doubt tell, I think there's going to be another siege. Yep. As you can see, these guys are going over to Melion Castle, which is where? That's a very... Where is that, actually? Where is... what is it again? Melonia Castle or something like that? That is a very strange decision. Okay, maybe I take it back. Melion, yes. Melion Castle. Okay, let me actually just quickly take a look. Melion. There we go. It's... Oh, what? It's all the way over there? Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. I would much rather concentrate on taking these two, because then it further consolidates this portion of territory. But I'm okay with them taking that, because if we take this and then we take Cyrenea, that's a pretty decent chunk as well. So I guess that's fine. I don't really mind. We'll see what happens anyway. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.